Sarah was sitting across the table from Alan when she felt a chill in the air. It was the same chill she had experienced many times before, whenever Alan brought up topics that unsettled her. His eyes had a way of narrowing right at the moment when he wanted to make sure Sarah was listening, really listening, to every word he said. "You know," Alan began, "it's interesting how your mom always seems to be more interested in her own life than yours. Have you noticed that?" Sarah shifted uneasily. It was true. Her mother had a thriving social life and often traveled. But Sarah never thought about it as apathy towards her. Eric had a way of planting seeds of doubt, of making Sarah rethink the comfort of old relationships. Alan continued, "I just don't understand why she never checks in on you. Does she even care about how you're doing? If I were her, I would be much more concerned. I mean, I don't want to get in the middle, but it's something worth thinking about." Sarah nodded, swallowing a lump in her throat. This wasn't the first time Alan had questioned her relationships. He seemed to have a knack for finding weak spots and pressing on them just enough to instigate doubt. But his tactics didn't stop there. When Sarah's childhood friend Rachel called to catch up, Alan listened intently to the conversation, and later, when they were alone, he asked, "Why did she seem so disinterested in hearing about us? What we're up to?" "It almost felt like she was trying to get off the phone with you as soon as possible." Sarah frowned. Rachel had seemed perfectly cheerful, her usual self, but Alan's words lingered. Suddenly, every interaction with the people she cared about felt painted with suspicion because Alan's observations illuminated hidden cracks in the relationships. As weeks turned into months, Sarah began to withdraw, first emotionally, then physically. Her phone calls to her mother grew scarce, her outings with friends dwindled into non-existence, all because Alan's subtle hints turned into full-fledged accusations. "Are you sure Rachel is really happy for you? You know her tone sounded odd when you mentioned our trip," Alan remarked, as always, aligning his words to draw Sarah's thoughts away from her circle. Every comment was a calculated step, isolating Sarah from her support system. Once, when she expressed a desire to visit her family, Alan played his trump card, guilt. "You never want to spend that time with me straight away. It's like you prioritize them over me," he lamented, casting doubt over her intent. Alan's manipulative behavior extended beyond her relationships. It reached into Sarah's hobbies, her decisions, her future aspirations. "Why do you need to do that project anyway? Are you running away from us?" Sarah grappled with the idea that perhaps Alan was looking out for her. Perhaps he truly saw something she didn't in the people around her. The twist lay in the fact that while Alan set out to destroy her bonds with others, he claimed it was all done in love. One evening, Sarah sat alone, thinking about her life before Alan, before the fog of doubt and alienation surrounded her. Slowly it dawned on her. The supposed care demonstrated by Alan was indeed a form of control. Realizing the toxic puppet strings that guided her actions, Sarah decided to reclaim her life. It wasn't an easy decision. It never is when a person is entangled in a web woven with threads of manipulation. She reached for her phone and dialed her mother. "Mom," she said, her voice breaking the month-long silence, "there's something I need to talk to you about." As the conversation flowed, Sarah found herself again, not just as someone connected to others, but as someone anchored in her own existence. Alan's tactics became clearer in hindsight, but that clarity was the first step in unraveling his control and finding her way back to herself. She learned, as many do, that sometimes what seems like love can be anything but.